making a video for installing openSUSE. This will be an in-depth video on how to install openSUSE, kind of geared towards people that have never installed Linux before or just want to try out openSUSE. I'm going to focus on Leap 15.6. get.opensuse.org. This is the main page for openSUSE ISO file. You'll see desktop and server with Tumbleweed, Leap 16 Alpha. I'll be doing a video when it goes to beta. Then you have Leap Micro 6.1 and Micro OS. Click on the desktop here, and what you see is Tumbleweed and Leap. We're going to focus on Leap. You can click on download here. What you'll see is offline image. This is what you want to do if you just want to download everything all at one time. Network images, just the boot image. When you go to install the packages, then they download it. A little bit longer to install this way, but it's the latest applications. If you do this one, it's whatever is on the image file when they created it. You'll also see PowerPC, a UEFI ARM 16 servers, IBM. If you're just a normal everyday person, a regular computer, just download that Intel or ARM64 desktop. What you'll want to do is hit the little down arrow and pick a mirror. What this is for is you're going to find the mirror closest to you. So since I'm on the west coast of the United States, I'm going to select the Berkeley, and then you click this and it downloads that ISO data. I'm downloading this now. If you can, choose the closest mirror to where you live, country or region. You should be fine. Select the mirror that is closest to you and start downloading the ISO image. Now that you have your ISO downloaded, you need to get a program like Rufus. Rufus will take the ISO and make it into a bootable USB driver. One thing you need to do is make sure you do a large enough USB stick. Right here it says was the wrong size, so get at least a 4 gig. It's better if you get like an 8 gig USB drive, and then you'll be able to make this ISO image. I think this is a 4 gig ISO, so yeah, you need something a little bit bigger than 4 gig to make this bootable ISO. I'll speed this portion up. It does take about 10 minutes maybe to create this USB bootable drive for Leap. There are other programs. Balance Etcher comes to mind. Make sure that you read the reviews. Balance Etcher, they're saying it's a possibility of adding spyware or malware. I can't remember which one. Not something you want to install on your operating system, so make sure you read the reviews. There is ISO to USB. I think should be able to create a bootable USB drive. I did include the Rufus URL in this video, and it'll be down below in the comments. Use Rufus if you want to create your bootable USB for the SUSE install. coming to the end of installing our image onto the USB boot drive. So what you're going to want to do after this is finished is remove it and move that USB drive into the computer that you want to boot off of to install Linux. Make sure you have everything backed up off that computer. You don't need to save anything, because installing Linux onto your Linux computer will destroy everything that's currently on it. So what you're gonna have to do is install that USB device into the computer, then you're gonna reboot, and you're probably gonna either hit F12 or F10 to boot into the BIOS, and then you're gonna select the USB drive with that openSUSE Leap on it, and then that's where we'll pick it up. So we'll get to the point where we're starting the install process here in a second, but just remember to make sure that you have backed up everything on the computer that you need to save. Here we go. I have already hit F12, and I've selected my boot option to boot from the newly created Linux boot ISO. And what it's doing, this screen is installing all your basic drivers. You can actually hit escape and it will tell you a little more detail, but I'm just going to leave it here and let it go for hardware detection. This should only take a few minutes to finish detecting all your hardware. It's going to be, what do you have, a hard drive? Do you have an NVMe drive? What type of RAM do you have, or the amount of RAM you have? All your motherboard drivers, everything like that, just for basic install. Here we go. Now we see the graphical interface. So those drivers that we're installing have correctly determined the video card and have loaded those drivers. So that's why we see that graphical interface now. Everything else from now on should be a graphical interface. Here in a second we should be seeing, user input, so license agreement. Read it and hit next, or just hit next, up to you. I always do the online repository so it grabs the latest greatest, but you don't have to do this now, but you will in the future need to upgrade or update your system. So I just take the defaults here. I don't do anything else. I just usually hit next really quick. I'll most likely come back in and do some speed ramping so we don't have to wait so long. I don't want this video to be several hours long of me explaining all the install steps, so you may notice that it goes faster now and then. It's just to conserve time. So here, KDE Plasma is probably the default graphical desktop, but you have options like GNOME or XVice or generic desktop. I always go to that KDE Plasma or KDE in general. In personal opinion, you have less issues with that on openSUSE. So if you're a first-time user, accept that KDE Plasma. And then now you have your suggested partitioning. You can either hit next or go through and select your options. This is generally a little bit more advanced. I don't do disk encryption. Generally, there's no. It's in my home. I don't need to encrypt it. But if you're going to be using it for a business or a laptop and you're carrying it around, do that encrypted just for more security. Me, I have nothing on there that's very important, so I don't need the extra security. But in general, yeah, do it. Just going to go with the suggested partitioning there. No need to do the ButterFS on the home partition. You can if you want, but that's more of snapshots. Here's an option for your installed time zone. I'm on Pacific. You can either do the drop down or you can go up and just click on the area where you're at and it'll select it for you. And then once you're done selecting, hit next. Type in your username and password. I'm just gonna do something simple. No need, it's just a demo. So select it and hit next. And then if it's really simple like the one I did, it'll ask you, do you really want to do it? Now, here's where you can choose your software. You're going to have a lot of options for the software. You have options to right there on the screen for disable and enable. General, leave it alone. If you're new, you might want to turn off the firewall just to learn your system. Especially if you have a network printer that you want to set up, or learn how to set the firewall to the home network, and your printer will just work. That's IP based. Security is going to be App Armor on SUSE Leap. If you go Tumbleweed's going to be SE Linux. That's enabled by default now, SE Linux. A little bit of a growing pain there. openSUSE has enabled a higher security level for SE Linux, and it has caused problems, but they're fixing those problems. So I fully see Leap 16 coming out with SE Linux here in, I think it's October, version 16. And I'll be doing an install video for that just so everyone can see it. This is version Leap version 15.6 now. You can do your network config here. My biggest pet peeve is the host name, and we'll just put something simple in here just for the demo. If you look at your network like I do, I'll change this so I know what it is when it pops up on my network. I can apply security on the network for this. I'm not going to add in wireless network right now. Physically connected to the network. In the future, I will enable wireless, and it's no different turning the wireless on from Linux to Windows. It's just as easy. I might do a short video on that. One thing you should do is, if you use Microsoft, install the Microsoft fonts, and those should be on by default. I have another video on that, since I use my Linux desktop for Microsoft Teams and stuff, and it just makes it the website look a little bit better because Microsoft's calling for them. Here you can see all the options, all the desktops, all the server functionality that's available to install by default using the full offline network. It provides everything needed. I do the proprietary packages just so that your web experience, YouTube and such, is enjoyable. You can see the GNOME desktop, the KDE framework, RPM based, your basic technologies, AppArmor is installed here, YAST. You can do YAST server utilities. I didn't do that since this is not going to be used as a server. But yeah, there's a lot of options that you can do. I'm just going to go ahead and hit next and install everything. And confirm and install. Now it's going to be formatting your hard drive and installing all the packages. There we go. So it looks like 5.4 gigs of packages, 2,400 packages being installed with all the options that were selected. This will take a few minutes. I'm gonna speed this up, so sit back, hold on, and watch the video. It's gonna be, I don't know, 800 times speed, so when you try to install yours, it's not gonna be this fast. Might be a little slower, just to let you know that this is speed ramped. For this short intermission here while we're waiting for everything to get installed, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Alright, we are rebooting here. openSUSE Leap 15.6 is installed. This boot screen takes a little bit longer the first time, but yep, we're getting installed. Here we go. I have shared the display so we can see it and record it. Notifications are off, so we'll enable those so we can see stuff like updates, Bluetooth, display configuration or networks, wired and wireless. You can hit the up arrow and see all of that also, just to verify that there are no updates or notifications that need to come to the screen. And it's fully charged, never install on a dead battery. But that's good. Leap now is fully installed, and let's look around the desktop here. By default, we'll have Firefox, Dolphin, which is the file manager. From there, you can see all your directories, usually common directories for the end user. And then Discover. Discover is what you can use to install applications such as GIMP or Chrome. I suggest doing Chrome over Firefox. Chromium is the deep loaded version of Chrome. You can go through and select your area that you're looking for software in: education, games, graphics, or internet. Most of these will have you, if you click on it, you'll see an explanation of the product. And it's not like Windows where you have to go out and search the internet. They're included in Discover by default. YAST is It's a pretty extensive list of software within Discover. If you're looking for something, just install it. If you decide you don't want it, just remove it. You do that from Discover also. On the right hand side, you see it where it says install. If it's installed, you can just click it again and it will be removed. It will need your root password. The root password will be the one that you used when you first installed Leap. Falcon right here that I'm installing is supposed to be a secure web browsing experience. So, having used it, I'm going to try it now and let you know how I like it. And it does show up in your start menu. This is a one-time password wallet install. It will ask you to create a new password for this wallet. I will admit that some of these names of the products are kind of funny, unique. We'll say that. But hey, it's free software. What can you say? Here you'll see that we have updates available, so click that, and they are for the Dell dock and monitor and firmware. So when I reboot here in a minute, it's going to take extra long to do the firmware for my docking station, the monitor, and BIOS of my laptop. So it will be additional time for the reboot. You won't see that though. I will cut that part out. Let's look at the menu here. It's just going to be like Windows. Nothing special here. All applications, favorites, and you'll have your development, which is education, games. My favorite game there, Mahjong. Internet, different options for internet, email, the Falcon we just installed, the browser, multimedia, VLC player, just like Windows. Office will be LibreOffice. Your settings, you get your YAST, you get another systems tool, system monitor, tell you what your application is using towards memory. You'll have your graph. Everything's just like normal, like Windows. This allows you to scan your folders, documents for space. Of course, you're lost and found where it didn't know to put a application. Console will be your command prompt. I'm going to go back into Discover here and install Notepad QQ. If you ever use Notepad++, QQ is the alternate to the software in Linux. It's a great product. Almost feature for feature. There's a couple things missing in QQ, but it's a great product. I like how you can open up the Notepad in type way, then close it, then reopen it. Everything is still there. It's not like Conqueror where you close it, you lost it, you gotta save it. But Notepad QQ, must have install if you do simple notes. As you can see, it was added to the menu. Do simple check if the software is up to date. Let's see about configuring the desktop. Change your desktop. Right click anywhere in your desktop. Select desktop folder settings. see if we can get some new wallpapers. Wallpapers, you click on that, it just goes out, and you see hundreds, if not thousands, of different wallpapers. Scroll through. If you like something, just click and install it. It's gonna load more when you scroll down. There we go, just choose one and install it. It's now installed on your computer. To see it here, you're gonna have to close it and reopen, I believe. Nope, yeah, just switch it and it shows up. Just click apply and that's now your new desktop image. And of course you can install your own. Here we're going to see about changing our desktop. Very customizable in KDE. Easiest way to learn something is just try it. Try changing. You know, you can easily just revert it. Drag and drop your menu bar. Place it wherever you want, top and bottom, left or right. Scrunch it down if you want, and I'll do that here in a second. Just grab it, pull it in. Well, I think that's all I have for today. That's just a quick overview of installing openSUSE Leap 15.6. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out.